Courtney
Hadwin stunned the world with a powerhouse voice, raw emotion, and a stage presence that felt larger than life. From the moment she stepped into the spotlight, it was clear she was not just another contestant on a talent show. She was something rare, something unforgettable. But what began as a meteoric rise quickly took a dark and unexpected turn, one that even Simon Cowell, the industry's toughest judge, could not hold back tears from on live television. What happened to this once-in-a-generation talent? Why did it shake Simon to his core? Stay with us as we uncover the rise, the unraveling, and the shocking moment that left the world speechless. Courtney's story didn't begin with flashing cameras or screaming fans. It began quietly in the coastal town of Hartlepool in northeast England, a place far removed from the chaos of fame. In her modest home, music was always in the air. Etta James on vinyl, Janis Joplin on CD, her father humming along while washing dishes. For young Courtney, music wasn't background noise. It was escape, expression, a way of finding herself in a world where she was often shy and withdrawn. But behind that quiet demeanor, something was building. The reserved schoolgirl rarely sought attention, yet when she sang, even just in her room, she transformed. Her voice, raspy and soulful, carried the pain, longing, and liberation of artists far older. She wasn't mimicking legends like James Brown or Janis Joplin. She was channeling them. In those early years, Hartlepool had no idea that within its quiet streets, a star was silently being born.
Well, time for you guys to check her out. This is her shot at the semifinals. Here's Courtney Hadwin.
Welcome to America's Got Talent. How are you?
A little bit nervous.
That's okay to be nervous.
That star would soon explode into the global spotlight. In 2018, a nervous teenage Courtney walked onto the stage of America's Got Talent. She seemed like any other timid contestant, her voice shaky as she introduced herself. But then the opening riff of Otis Redding's Hard to Handle began, and in seconds, everything changed. Courtney unleashed a performance so raw, so electrifying, it felt supernatural. Her body moved with the rhythm of decades of soul, her raspy growl hitting the audience like a bolt of lightning. The judges were stunned, the crowd roared, and in a defining moment, Howie Mandel slammed the golden buzzer. Gold confetti rained from above as Courtney stood frozen in shock, her life transformed forever. That night wasn't just a performance, it was an awakening. Even Simon Cowell, famous for his harsh critiques, was left speechless. In that golden moment, Courtney didn't just win applause, she won Simon's respect, something very few artists ever achieve. But behind the glitz of sudden fame lay a storm brewing. Headlines, interviews, viral videos, it all came at once. Courtney was thrust into a whirlwind where the world demanded more of her than she was ready to give. She didn't fit into the industry's neat boxes. She wasn't polished pop, she wasn't a dance track star, she was grit, authenticity, and raw energy. Qualities executives didn't quite know how to market. Some pushed her to soften her style, to choose safer songs, to be more mainstream. But Courtney refused to be reduced. Yet with that resistance came a heavy price. Social media was both a blessing and a curse, adoration from fans mixed with sharp criticism. And underneath it all, Courtney was still just a teenager trying to grow up under the crushing weight of expectations. The more the world demanded the Courtney Hadwin they remembered, the harder it became for her to evolve into the artist she truly wanted to be. She experimented with new sounds, wrote her own lyrics, tried to carve her own path. But the industry wanted the girl from 2018, frozen in time. The tug of war between who she was and who she wanted to become took an emotional toll. By early 2020, it all reached a breaking point. Her schedule was packed with studio sessions, interviews, performances. On paper, she was unstoppable. But in reality, she was unraveling. Anxiety crept in before performances, her hands shook, her voice felt like a burden. She smiled for cameras, but inside felt like she was fading. Then the world hit pause. The COVID-19 pandemic brought everything to a halt. For Courtney, it was strangely liberating. For the first time in years, she had silence. No cameras, no deadlines, just time. She picked up her guitar, wrote songs at 2 a.m., and rediscovered the girl who once sang simply because it felt good. She realized how deeply exhausted she had been, physically, emotionally, spiritually. The stillness gave her clarity, but clarity came with cost. Once she had tasted authenticity, returning to the performance treadmill felt impossible. And then, just as the world began to reopen, tragedy struck. Whispers spread across social media. Courtney Hadwin had been hospitalized. No official statement, no details, just silence. Fans panicked. Rumors swirled. Was it exhaustion, burnout, something worse? Her once lively social media went dark. The Courtney the world adored had vanished, and no one knew why. It was a moment that shook even Simon Cowell. Known for his stoicism and sharp critiques, Simon appeared on a live broadcast looking uncharacteristically subdued. When Courtney's condition was mentioned, he tried to stay composed, but couldn't. His voice broke as he admitted, "She had something I don't think I've ever seen before. To see her going through this, it's heartbreaking." Simon Cowell, the unmovable judge, was brought to tears on live television. The world was stunned. This wasn't just about music anymore. It was about Courtney's survival, her well-being, her light. Fans worldwide flooded social media with support, not just for Courtney, but for Simon too, who had shown a rare vulnerability. It was proof that behind the harshness of the industry, real care and real humanity still existed. In the months that followed, Courtney stepped back from the spotlight. With fewer media obligations, she had space to heal. She wrote music privately, using it as therapy. Her circle grew smaller but stronger. Family, close friends, a few loyal mentors, including Simon himself, who reportedly checked in often, reminding her, "Take your time, the world can wait." And perhaps that's what makes Courtney Hadwin's story so compelling. She is not just the golden buzzer prodigy or the girl who stunned the world in 90 seconds. She is a young artist navigating fame, mental health, and the search for her authentic voice. Whether she returns to the mainstream spotlight or forges an independent path, one thing is certain: her story is far from over. The question now is, will the pressure of fame define her, or will she rise above it and redefine herself on her own terms? You've been watching Hollywood Star News. What do you think lies ahead for Courtney Hadwin? Will she rise stronger than ever? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss the stories behind Hollywood's brightest and most mysterious stars.